for indepenDANCE this year, we began by looking at apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic ideas and theories and concepts and popular culture. But across the period, it's kind of moved a little bit away from that with the inclusion of a particular prop. Our prop is a blue tarp, so we've been talking about the idea of this plastic item saving you in particular circumstances, but also that plastic is essentially contributing to the destruction of the world. And so we're still kind of in post-apocalyptic feelings, but because we have 6 women also in the work, it has a bit more of the tarp kind of leads to a womb vibe. We're going to title the work Plastic Belly. In the process, we improvised a lot to the film score, soundtrack, literally played the film in rehearsal of Mad Max, and so a lot of the content has come from those improvisations. We talked a bit about the contrast between self-protection and the aggression that comes from maybe self-protection in situations where you don't know what's happening or you're uncomfortable, but then also a desire for intimacy and connection with other people, and how that can also bring a different kind of safety, and that contrast and how that can play out in different scenarios in the work. I'm collaborating with Tivoli. He's a visual artist and works a lot in photography and sculpture, but also has experience working and designing for dance. So yeah, the inclusion of the tarp came from him. He's like constantly pushing it toward the whole work to kind of grow and develop kind of in a stronger way for that's a bit more accessible for a non-dance audience, I guess. He's the one who's watched a lot of National Geographic in the past, so a lot of animal videos fed into the language of the movement, so like queen termites and these underwater eels videos and balls of fish. So a lot of these images fed into the improvisations. Would have a lot of conversation about what, say, the girls considered the end of the world to be, what would happen if you like refound your people, and what displacement would feel like once the world wasn't as we understood it. Filming the improvisations that we did daily was a big step, and then looking at things that emerged from that, nudging them in particular directions, attempting to recreate, and then because improvised scenarios are often difficult to find the essence of again, that we would then shift somewhere else, and so we kept pushing the kind of scores and ideas that emerged from the improvisations toward this common idea that we had flowing through. So we really the process really dictated what came out, because we just took things that we felt were the strongest images of that we responded to in a stronger way, and that kind of came together to form what we have as a work so far.
So my concept, my work is about this breaking point. When you're working and working and working at something, and then all of a sudden you arrive at a work maybe someday, and you just don't want to do it. You're like, fuck this, I don't want to do this anymore. And I think what's really interesting about that point is that that's never the point where you quit, or where you decide to leave. And maybe it's the wrong time, and maybe you stay for a week, or you stay for a month, or you stay for a decade. I'm not sure how long, but this feeling of going to somewhere and working somewhere that you don't want to anymore. Yeah, I think that's what my work is exploring. So we kind of have maybe 3 or 4 characters that we're developing. The first character is played by Danica, and Danica has this sense of drive, this sense of a daily grind happening in her work, and this feeling at the end of that daily grind of coming back home and just slipping out of that work mode, and how far deeply you slip out of that, to the point where maybe the next day you're not ready to go back to work, or the next day you wake up late, or the next day there is no drive to get back into the grind. I think her character is all about letting go and then having to pick that back up again. Emily's is about this, she's a yes, She's a yes man. She'll say yes to everything, no matter whether it's detrimental to what she wants to do with her life and what she wants to happen on a day-to-day basis. We talked a lot about this feeling of demoralization, of as in your heart as a professional, you know that this is the direction I want to go, and then being told to go in a different direction all of the time, being told that actually no, this direction that you think is completely correct is not the direction that we're going to go, and over time just being told that what you think is wrong and we're not going to follow that. It kind of brings her to this boiling point, to this, you know, the last straw on the camel's back. And what's really lovely, I think, in her character is this break, is this decision to burn the place down. You know, she can't take it anymore, and she has to burn bridges. Yeah. My third character is Lucy, and I think Lucy has this real optimism in herself. I think, to a detriment, she will keep on finding the light even if the light isn't there, even if she has to manufacture the light. I think we can take it slow at this moment, but you can start, so if you've thrown him down, I think there's something in the enjoyment of this moment. Yeah. He's not something wet and sure, but yeah. Ciao. I feel like her characters will never get to that point of breaking the camel's back. I feel like, to her detriment, she will just keep on finding the light and drilling herself into this place of, is this it? Is this all I'm ever going to be? And I think my last character is the boss, the CEO, and that's played by a puppet, a suit jacket puppet, that's kind of moved and animated by the dancers and their relationship via their characters to this kind of CEO guy, to this man of power, this hierarchy. What I've enjoyed actually is coming back to processes that maybe I have used before, but actually seeing them in a completely different light. In my practice I use a lot of talking and dancing, but I think the talking and dancing at the same time kind of practice that I've developed over the last 3 years for kind of making autobiographical work, putting it into this frame has been really exciting. They've taken it into a place that I've never been before. I'm not sure what that place is, whether there's a sense of letting go of that, or maybe there's a sense of talking about a topic in a way that perhaps you haven't been allowed to talk to someone about before. I think as an independent artist, I've had to kind of develop a really quick process, a process of working where I'll make a lot of content in maybe a week or two, and that kind of has to be the work. What's been really lovely about this process is that I've been able to draw myself away from those habits, away from the kind of survival independent artist structure, to be able to investigate deeper maybe into a vision or deeper into an idea. So it's not just the thing that I was thinking about at 12 a.m. you know, the night before. It's not just that image, but maybe it's an image from there. It's a jumping point. I've been really enjoying being challenged by my dancers and by Nerida and by the other kind of Fluxus crew to decide whether that image is the right image or whether I need to go deeper or see what's over the fence. Yeah.
I love indie for the community that we find ourselves in for these 4 weeks in such a strong way. You're seeing people every day. We have at least 24 of us that are in and around the space, and just being able to have a chat and realizing we do have this strength around us here is really exciting. And that's probably one of my favorite parts about indie, other than having space and dancers.
I think I really enjoy seeing the difference of practice. I think I love seeing the difference between what Sandy's making, what Lauren, what you're making, what I'm making, what Sharu's making. You know, I think that kind of variety really sets as a part, but also draws us together. I think there's there's ways that perhaps you're making that I could take back for me. Do you know what I mean? And I think that sharing between the processes has been really lovely. I had this I don't know, like an hour-long conversation with Shrew one afternoon, which I didn't expect. That was not my plan. But I think that type of sharing is what indie's about, maybe.
Yeah, super valuable.
Yeah, super valuable.
Was it what you expected it to be?
No, I think it's a bit different. I thought I would go in and make my work and go out. I think there's the sharing has been super valuable, more valuable than I ever thought it would be.
Nice.